me about all of the things that we believed we were doing that we don't do anymore. We don't teach people that it is your right, your birthright to vote in this country. It's a gift. We don't teach people what their rights are as human beings. You don't treat me, you treat me like I'm just money thing there for you. You've taken away all, you've increased my taxes, given me nothing for it. You haven't made it better, you're making it worse, and then you're surprised that people are going, basically, I don't feel like this is America anymore. It's not, it's many, many things. It's many things.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the cackling hens on The View, okay? And their response to a recent Wall Street Journal poll that found that only 38% of respondents considered patriotism very important, which is a drop from 70% in 1998. Now, again, this is a sad poll. If you haven't seen it, you guys should check it out. It really does show that our country is in a cultural decline, okay? Our country is declining culturally, and I think it's a major problem, okay? People are not as proud to be American as they used to be, despite living in what I believe currently is still the greatest country in the world. However, it seems that we're on a decline, right? And we're not on the decline because of conservatism. We're on a decline because of progressivism, okay? Far left woke progressivism that is actually really taking this country to a really bad place, okay? And one of the reasons why I want to respond to the cackling hens in their take on this is because these people don't even realize that the policies that they support are the reason why we're declining, right? And some of the things they're putting out there is the reason why we're declining. So again, I want to get into it, as again, Sunny Hostin here is going to go as far as to basically dismiss slave labor in China as a justification for not being patriotic, okay? That this country hasn't lived up to American exceptionalism. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
If America is not the #1 global power, it's not going to be Denmark. It's going to be communist China, a country that right now the government is imprisoning Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. It is a deeply racist government. It's a human rights violating government. It is a government that if they're the leader of the free world, we are not a free world the way that we are right now. So I love this nation. I think we are the greatest nation on earth, despite our flaws. And I would also finally say, nowhere else in the world do all these women sit at this table. I think the ability to be able to rise quickly and in one generation change your outcome is amazing.
Yeah, so I agree with Alyssa Griffin, all right? Which is not it's not often, okay? Even though she's supposed to be the lukewarm conservative here at the table, I think it's right. I think this country is still the best country in the world. However, I think it is rapidly declining, but it's still the best. And I think that people, that live here are not appreciative enough of the fact that they were born in this country and the opportunities that they have as Americans, okay? Opportunities that they wouldn't have in other countries, like, for example, again, China, where they literally lock you up for being the wrong race, okay, or religion, which, again, is something that the woke revolutionaries who claim to, fight for human rights, they don't really seem to speak up much about what's going on in China, okay? They ain't got much to say about it.
No, it's a great country because we all have benefited from some of the great things about this country. But kids today, who are young people now, are looking at this country and they're saying, if I get sick, I could become bankrupt. If I go to college, I could be in debt until I collect Social Security. There are shootings on a regular basis in this country.
Yeah, so again, she's naming all these problems, right? She's talking about the cost of healthcare. Which, again, hey, if you guys weren't out here promoting obesity, right? If you actually promoted, going to the gym, okay, living a healthy lifestyle, not things like fat acceptance and some of the stuff that we push on social media, maybe we would have lower cost of healthcare, right? One of the reasons why healthcare is so expensive because everybody's sick. Everybody's fat, right? People are getting sick because they're not living healthy lifestyles. Okay, these people, these woke progressives, they want universal health care, okay, like Europe, but they don't realize that Europe is not as fat as the United States, right? They ain't got nearly as many health problems among the general population as we do, okay? Part of the reason why healthcare is so expensive is because we have so many people that are chronically ill, which drives up the cost for everybody else. In fact, according to this study right here, okay, on the differences in health between Americans and Western Europe, Americans are twice as likely to have hypertension, to be obese, to have strokes. Again, Americans, just generally speaking, we're just a lot more unhealthier than a lot of Europe, okay? And again, this is never talked about among the left when it comes to why healthcare costs so much, okay? While they promote things that quite literally drive up the cost of healthcare. And then they turn around and they want you to pay it, right? They want you to pay for it, okay? Just like they want you to pay for them to go to college and get a degree in anti-black racism and gender/queer studies, right? Useless degrees that have no economic return on investment, at least not a positive one, right? It's negative, okay? These people provide nothing good or positive to society that go and get these degrees, okay? They can't pay for them, right? They're a net negative, okay? But yet, again, they want you to pay for it, right? They want you to pay for it. The government gives out an unlimited amount of money for people to go get useless degrees, okay? Also, on top of that, college is bloated administratively, okay? You got all these diversity, equity, inclusion programs, all this stuff that they do in college that really ain't got a damn thing to do with actually getting educated, right? You got to live on campus, dorms. They force you to go live on campus, which increases the cost, right? You got all these big sports programs and stuff like that, again, that we love, right? We love this stuff. But they don't have all that stuff in Europe, right? That's why their college is cheaper. That's why the government can afford to pay for it, right? It's because it is cheaper, it's more efficient. But again, these people never want to talk about that. They never want to talk about cutting the fat out of university, right? Whether it be useless degrees, sports, other things like administrative college. They don't want to ever talk about that, okay? They just want you to pay for it, right? They want you to pay for inefficiencies. Again, this is all stuff that, again, I think the left primarily is responsible for.
Major things that are happening here that are making people turn against the country. And those are just some of the things. And I think that access to the internet has caused a lot of people to say, gee, they can do it in Denmark, they can do it in Sweden, they can do it in Italy, has national health even, you know?
Yeah, so again, here we go. Well, they can do it in Europe. Why can't we do it? Well, again, we are not as efficient as Europe when it comes to college, okay? We're too unhealthy, okay? We're too fat, okay? We're much fatter than Europe, right? Also, on top of that, you're pointing to countries that have a homogeneous society, right? A society that's mainly white, okay? Which is what a lot of these woke revolutionaries are trying to do the opposite here in the United States, right? They want society to be less white. But again, they're pointing to countries that are more white as an example that we should be following, right? Again, absolutely amazing stuff. These people don't realize, again, some of the stuff they promote is the reason why we can't have nice things, right? It's what you promote.
And there are many countries in the world that really do take on these issues. And so we're thinking, are we that exceptional anymore as we used to be? Yes, we're powerful.
No, we're not as exceptional as we used to be, no. But again, it's because of far left woke progressivism. That's why.
Country, we have the best military. But what about the people?
Well,
I've been, Sarah and I, we've had this discussion about the flag and that.
Oh, that's another thing. But I put my flag out because I don't want Republicans to think that they own the flag, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a liberal Democrat. That flag goes out every year on my porch.
Yeah, so Joy Behar here telling us what we all knew. Water's wet. She's a liberal Democrat, right? Liberal Democrat, okay? She's stating it. I think she's not going far enough, though. She's a woke progressive Democrat. That's really what she actually is.
That's the issue. It's been the notion of patriotism and the notion of America and the American flag has been co-opted by the right as if they are true patriots.
Well, I mean, let's keep it 100. The right, okay, doesn't hate America, right? We don't hate America. We don't think America's a terrible place. We think America's a great place. But we do think that the wokes, right, people like you are trying to ruin the country, right? And that is why a lot of conservatives think that the United States is on a decline, okay? It's the direction that we're headed in, not where we were at, right? We were at a good place. You guys ruined it. You ruined it, right? You're trying to take us down a road to Cocoa Puffs world, right? So yeah, we love this country. We want this country to be what it was before, which is great, right? But we can't get there because, again, progressives are driving this country off a cliff.
But when I listened to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country.
And there's still no facts and evidence to back up that claim, right? I'm not seeing where all the domestic terror threats are coming from when it comes to white supremacy. Not really seeing it. But I'm seeing a whole lot of it when it comes to woke supremacy, okay? With the left-wing lunatics out here committing mass shootings, okay? They are terrorizing cities, okay? Antifa down there in Atlanta. They terrorizing churches, okay? The Roe v. Wade rioters, okay? The race rioters. I'm seeing a whole lot of domestic terrorism from the woke revolutionaries, right? From the woke extremists, the woke supremacists.
And so as a woman of color with a 6'2" black kid in college and a 5'7", 5'8" black kid in high school, I don't see that part of American exceptionalism. I'm sorry. No. I think this country has a lot of problems that could be solved. Yes, maybe they're putting Muslims in jail in Afghanistan, I think you mentioned, and China. They're putting a lot of more black people in jail here.
Can I ask?
Wow, incredible, right? Absolutely incredible. She does realize the difference, right? That the slaves, okay, in China, because that's what they are, they're slaves. They're slaves because of their religion and their skin color. People are locked up here in America because they committed a crime, right? Again, you may disagree with whether or not they should be locked up for that crime, but they committed a crime, right? There's a difference. Those aren't something that you can really compare and equate. And then she makes this silly statement about her sons being black, right? Oh, I got two, black sons here in America, and white supremacy is such a threat. Again, they're much more likely to be killed by another black person. Okay, statistically speaking, these are just facts. If you disagree with the facts, hey, don't get mad at me, get mad at the facts. They're much more likely to be killed by a black person, specifically a black man, another black man, than they are by a so-called white supremacist. Right? Again, it's amazing to me how, again, these people are afraid of something that statistically it's very, very, very extremely unlikely to happen. Right? But something that actually is statistically significant in regards to a chance of it happening. They want you to ignore it, right? They don't want you to worry about that, okay? As a black person in this country, white supremacy is not what I should be worried about in regards to threats to my life. I actually should be worried about possibly being killed by another black person, okay? That is what I should worry about the most, not the white supremacist or the white man. But again, these people, for whatever reason, Sunny is not happy with living in a country where her sons are allowed to grow up and be rich, okay, because she's rich, they're rich, probably have a world-class education, probably going to get great jobs, probably going to have a great family life. They're going to have great lives, right? And their skin color is not really going to hold them back, again, because their mother, who's also a so-called person of color, is rich and famous. But yet, you don't think that the country is great that allows that? Again, how many other countries would allow, for example, China, the country in which she's dismissing slavery, like actual real slavery going on there, do you think that China would allow you to earn millions and millions of dollars doing what you do here in America? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. You would get nowhere close to being on the national television over there, right? State television, because that's what it is. State television. You wouldn't get close. I don't even think she would get closer to Africa, right? Or Europe, or anywhere else. Only in America can she do this. But you hate America, though. But you won't leave. America's not exceptional. America is exceptional. However, we're becoming less exceptional, again, because of people like this.
Because we've had this convo before. On the issue of race, what country on earth do you think would be better?
None. Zero. Right? Zero. They don't have any.
Would you rather live in or feel like is more inclusive?
Where I'm not a minority, I felt real good in Ghana.
I don't think this is about
Ghana. All right, well, go to Ghana then. Right? Ghana. You see, Whoopi, she trying to change it now because, again, they don't have a real answer for this question. They don't want to engage with this question, right? Because they know that America is the best place on earth to be a so-called person of color or woman or any minority, really.
Race. This is about a promise. Well, no, it's not. I mean, this is really about all of the things that we believed we were doing that we don't do anymore. We don't teach people that it is your right, your birthright to vote in this country. It's a gift.
Well, I mean, it's not really a right. It is a privilege, right? It really is a privilege. But again, nobody is taking away your right. Once you become 18 years old, you can vote unless you commit a crime and become a felon or whatever. But once you're 18, you can vote, right? Everybody knows that, okay? But again, I think she's alluding to Democrat propaganda here that makes people think that, oh, well, your voting rights are being taken away by the GOP, right? Again, ridiculous.
We don't teach people what their rights are as human beings. You don't treat me, you treat me like I'm just money thing there for you. You've taken away you've increased my taxes, given me nothing for it.
Oh, well, that's Democrats, right? That's the Democrat playbook. Increasing taxes and giving you nothing for it. Boy, Whoopi, I think you're a fiscal conservative, right? I remember one time Whoopi was complaining about them taxing people that make over $400,000 a year, right? She realized that she was in the 1%, that she would have to pay more taxes, and she had a problem with it, right? Again, so you got a problem with paying more taxes and not getting anything for it. That quite literally is a problem that you need to take up with the Democrat Party.
You haven't made it better, you're making it worse, and then you're surprised that people are going, basically, I don't feel like this is America anymore. It's not, it's many, many things. Yeah. It's many things.
Yeah, again, all caused by Democrats, right? All caused by Democrats. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.